here, so I have a real microphone. It's not going to get.
Oh.
I mean, same microphone, just not on the desk. So when I desk, it's not like an earthquake. And good. Twitch window is muted. All good. So yeah, just you and me tonight.
Sweet.
Cool. So did you get the document I linked in chat?
I just opened it a minute ago.
Awesome. So let me give you some background. While back, over 5 years ago, clearly, Ryan Hill and I did a duo show called Roguelike,
Mm.
where we got fake swords and told like a two-person fantasy story, like a 20-minute slot. It was great. But we spent most of our time rehearsing. That was the most fun. The show went really, really well. But rehearsals were just a great time. So I was like, so the way we picked our characters in the show was drawing cards from a deck of cards. And then, like, depending on what suit and number we got, we kind of figured it out from there. So I was like, you know what I should do? I should make a tarot deck to go along with that.
Oh yeah, all
Which,
right.
78 cards, not any work at all. So I did that. I made a tarot deck out of ASCII art. It took a very long time. And then I was like, well, now since I have a special deck, I should like make a game version of this so other people can do that. So that's what Roguelike is. Um, it's a two-person role-playing game. You're basically playing like Fafford and the Grey Mouser, like Elric and Moonglum, Jake and Finn, whoever, fantasy duos. It's pretty on rails. It's like very, very beat driven. But despite that, we had a wild variety of stuff. Um, so yeah, the document I shared is in progress. The very beginning is pretty solid, but writing down how all the middle bits work is the problem, or is the that's the actual work. Um, and then the back, I think so. February is zine month for Kickstarter, so a bunch of people, everyone like makes zines. So I think I'm going to do this as a zine in February, and so it's like half game and half like improv warm ups, like people who like don't just get on stage and tell stories all the time. Um, but I think we're going to skip the warm ups because we both kind of know what we're doing here. Um, and I also have where to go. I also put together, put this in chat, a playing cards online room that has a tarot deck. So you should be able to like mouse over that deck and see the top card on it, which is currently the Fool.
Hold on, I guess I said enter.
Yeah, I see your little circle.
Yeah, Fool. That's
Cool.
cool.
So I can flip this whole deck. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle it a couple times. So I need to do it once. Cool. So I spent a long time writing the introduction to the game, so I'm going to read it because I think it's
Do
great.
it.
Legendary beasts, dark sorceries, and cities of sapphire and silver. Fortune and glory beckon beyond the horizon. Your cunning spirit and the blades in your hands will claim them. A clash of steel, a whispered threat, and together you carve your path through danger. Duos of adventuring rogues are a staple of fantastic literature. Fafford the Grey Mouser, Elric and Moonglum, Finn and Jake, and many more. In Roguelike, you and a partner will spin a two-fisted tale of fantasy in about half an hour. Let's get started. Cool. So the way we get started is we each draw a card. So you should just be able to drag a card off the top there.
All right. I've grabbed
Hopefully
one.
it's not a major arcana like mine is. Let me draw another one that's not.
I can't see what it is.
Why are they? Oh, if
Oh, there we
you,
go.
yeah, you got to hover for a second.
Took a minute. Yeah. Okay.
So I do the two of warriors, which is the two of swords. What did you get?
7, the Hanged Man.
Oh, you get draw another one, so we get a minor arcana. Yeah, Hangman is a major. There's another major. Yeah, I got to account for that somehow. There we
Five
go.
of Thieves.
Five of thieves. Cool. And so the way we did it was coins are thieves, swords are warriors, cups are priests, and wands are wizards. So, and then we do status from ace, which is the lowest, to king, which is the highest. So if you get like the ace of wands, you're like a lowly wizard apprentice. Or if you get the king of wands, you're like a super archmage or something. We got both kind of low ones, which is kind of fun. So I got two of warriors. So I'm like a town guard or something, or just like maybe a sergeant in the town guard or something. And you got
Five of thieves.
five of thieves. So you're like a mid-level thief kind of guy. Um, what do you feel? I'm gonna go with like uh, town guard sergeant. I think that'll be good. What do you feel like? You have anything you want to add to your just like
I I I, I think I'm like, see, that's about, it's a little less than midway through the deck, right?
yeah,
Um, I am the doorman at the Thieves Guild.
nice, nice. Are you like the bouncer? You're a tough guy.
Yeah, well, yeah, so I'm the guy, yeah, who's responsible for like making sure you know the password before
Nice,
you get
nice,
in. So I got some responsibility. I mean, I'm kind of a big deal.
awesome. And then we pick names. On each card in the four corners, there are letters. Um, so if you want to start a name with one of those letters or get inspired by it or just pick a random name, totally fine. I got Y, R, K, and Z. Um,
Mhm.
I'm just going to call myself Yurik. Yurik. Yurik.
They call me Fiverr.
Fiverr. Nice. Cool. And that is the characters. So that's a character creation in like a minute. So the way the story works is we're going to set up a perilous situation in the middle of the story. Um, one player draws a card to inspire the location. So I'll draw out one. On the right side of the card, there's locations. So this is the Squire of Thieves, and the location is a tavern. That's great. I'm going to draw a different one just because I think I'm going to take that one out of the deck. There we go, workshop. We introduce the location. So, what kind of workshop? We're in uh, like the workshop of I guess like an armorer, like a step above a blacksmith. Like there's an armorer in the city that we're in. Um, and so then you will draw a card, and you will introduce some kind of peril or trouble inspired by that.
By like the top title or just anything on the card?
Just anything on the card. There's so the top has the title, the bottom has like a description of like what the card means, and then the left side there's like enemies, and the right side there's and then there's letters around the corners.
I like the top one. I think that we're we're in this workshop because we've spent a lot of time on this plan infiltrating this workshop as workers because we know
Mm,
that the high priest is having a custom set of armor made. It's
mm,
going to be worth a lot of money.
nice, nice. Um, cool. And so what's the immediate peril that causes for us?
That he has put pressure slash threats on the armorer to get it done ahead of schedule.
Nice.
So he's coming this evening for his suit of armor.
Cool. Sweet. So I'll make that worse. So worse than that. And this be I wrote this before I started playing Brindlewood Bay and stuff, so that's fun. It's worse than that. Not only does are we under a time crunch from the high priest, but um, yeah, I'm gonna say we'll make it worse. The forge has oh yeah, so the armor is magical armor because it's for the high priest, and the forge couldn't take it and like burst and the workshop is on fire.
Mm.
And then you will increase the peril further than that
Mm.
and worse than that.
And even worse than that is the supplies that we had been stashing around the workshop to help with our thieving and escaping. Um, Unfortunately, they were like kind of in a little cubby hole behind a loose stone. And when the fire broke out, it got through the cracks of that stone, and all our shit was burnt up in the cubby.
Nice, nice. So like two back and forths is the minimum there. I think I want to do one more just to kind of ramp it up a little bit more. Um, and so we've got time pressure. The workshop's on fire. All of our shit got burned. I think it's even worse than that. Um, the high priest had set some sort of spirit guard or something on the place to make sure he wasn't like being swindled or cheated. And so when whatever like spectral guardian sees that the workshop is on fire, it manifests in front of us, and then you can bump it up one more.
Um, and really, unfortunately for us, this spectral guardian has caught us stealing before and knows who we are.
Fantastic, great, love it. Cool. So we set up kind of the mid climax of the story. And so then in the show, we would like cut back to us like at a tavern telling the story and being like, so how did we get ourselves into that mess? And then we'd introduce ourselves. So I'm Yurik, the sergeant of the town guard, and somehow I got mixed up with this guy Fiverr. Um, cool. So then one of us starts in with like, it all began when I was blank. And so you can, from now on, you can just like draw cards whenever you feel like getting an inspiration for whatever.
Ooh.
So basically, the first act is introducing the two characters in some situations. So we will like pick a place where we both are. Um, we will kind of like say what each of us were doing there. And then at some point, trouble is going to happen. Whatever the trouble is, each of us will describe how we overcome the trouble using our particular skills. So basically, like this is the first opportunity for the characters to kind of show off and show the audience, what kind of badasses they are. Um, do you have a hit for something, or should I draw?
Yeah, no, I got a hit for something. Let me, I'll draw a card to see if we get there. Come on, come on, buddy. You can do it. There we go.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So I think as Fiverr had heard about this commissioned set of armor and thought, man, this would be one hell of a steal. But he knew that he needed an in. And he had a few run-ins with Yurik in the past when Yurik maybe had caught him stealing from the market, stealing some food and stuff. And he learned very quickly that Yurik was not the most virtuous of men by
Yeah.
by the guard standards anyway, and he could easily be persuaded to look the other way,
Mhm.
maybe with a little cut of the whatever it was I stole, or so I very quickly learned that Yurik was someone with an in who I could work with, and usually was down for it. And so I thought I would try,
Mhm.
to propose this plan to him. I figure he would know how we could, get in with the
Ooh,
blacksmith
yeah.
shop.
Yeah. So let's say the that temperance card has river on it. Let's say that we are like meeting down by the docks at night, and you're kind of filling me in on the plan. Um, and I'm like still pretty low in the guard, so I like don't have a lot of access. But you're yeah, we meet under cover of night, and there's someone else working the door at the Thieves Guild, I guess. Um, cool. What kind of trouble could we get in at the docks? I'm gonna draw another card and see what we got here. The Knight of Warriors, passion. Ooh.
Yeah.
Um, um, Does okay, I've got a suggestion. Let me know if this is cool. So you're laying out the plan to meet at the docks. We're kind of hanging out there. It's evening time. This is a city. People are strolling around. I think a couple people strolled by, and one of them is an ex-lover of yours and her new big boyfriend or girlfriend, whichever. Yeah, it was like a I think maybe you like got in with like a noble-ish, like a higher class lady, and then that went sour, and now she is dating like this giant like orc lady.
Mhm.
And we run into them, or they run into us there, and she's like, "That's the one I was telling you about." And the big orc lady's like, wants to show you what for.
Well,
So,
hey. What's the problem? What's the problem? Look, you obviously you won. You got the hey, you got the lady, and
and
then
now
the
you're
lady
gonna
got the
get
lady.
something else. And she
I-
picks up a like a barrel, and like hucks it at you. So now, like we're gonna get into this fight. We each describe like what our special skills are, that make us badass, that lets us get out of this situation, whether it's fighting or sneaking or talking our way out of it or whatever.
Well, I think my first skill is I am, pretty dexterous and do a little roll and void that barrel. Um, and then also I do have, a pretty good fast talking ability.
Mm,
Wait, 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 wait. Look. You've already broken me. My heart is broken. My body's broken. I haven't been able to eat. I haven't been able to sleep. But now seeing you two together, it's finally given me a little peace to see that there's happiness here, and maybe everything worked out the way it should, and maybe I should just follow the path that has been set before me and start anew. This is a fortuitous meeting. It's a healing meeting.
nice. Um, is there more like ancillary trouble that I could get out of there, or what else could I do to show off here?
Um, yeah. How about in an effort to just again to sell my story, and this will probably be trouble for you, just because I imagine word's are going to spread.
Right.
And I quickly grabbed you. I was like, and I found love too. See, this is my new guy. And look, your new girl, my new guy. We're just two happy couples here, living our lives.
And I think I play along with that, and because I'm part of the town guard, um, I have to bluster a bit too and be like, "Don't try to cause any trouble for this guy," and kind of like get into it with the York lady. Um, I think she takes a swing at me, um, and even though I have a low position in the guard, I'm there for a reason. So I think she takes a swing at me, and even though she is like way bigger than I am, I'm able to like get her arm around her back and be like, "Okay, cool, now you're in for it, assaulting an officer. Let's go downtown, lady."
And I
uh,
think without anybody, you'll probably find out later, without either of you knowing. I know yeah, you have some, but you are low, and she is an orc. I'm a little worried about that. So when you've got her, I kind of slip my ring around, which has a little prick, and I kind of prick her on the thigh, which weakens her for
nice,
the next couple of hours and
nice
gives
and
you a little
calm.
easier time subduing her.
Nice.
Otherwise, she probably would have broken out of it and kicked your ass.
Probably, yeah. Um, do we have names for them?
Eleanor was my ex.
Eleanor. Let me grab a. Let's do Eleanor and Mock and MOC. Mock. Great. Cool. And so then by the end of the first scene, we've resolved our trouble, showing off how cool we are, and we are buddies, and we're off on our adventure. So then we go to Act Two. The adventure is basically like three big beats of danger. So we're going to be getting this magic armor somehow. and selling it to someone. So what's the first step that we need to kind of like start out on this scheme, and we'll figure out how we get into trouble from there.
I think the first step would be getting us into some situation or some way that we get employed at the blacksmith shop. Like, I don't know if maybe that requires a.
Oh, does that require me getting fired from the town guard?
I was just thinking maybe you catch me doing something, purposely get caught, like letting me off, and we both then get, because like that level, I was just like stealing an apple. It's not a big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Would be kind of some forced unpaid labor,
Nice,
and that the
nice.
blacksmith shop is currently understaffed.
So the scene would be like, we set this up. You steal an apple from the marketplace, and I'll be like, "Stop, thief!"
Oh, no, I'm
And then
hungry. I was just stealing an apple, man.
and then we have to do a big showy chase through the marketplace.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So how does that part go wrong?
Um,
And we can always draw cards to see
oh, yeah, that's a good point.
if you got nothing.
Good point. Let's see what his cards is.
Nice.
That's good. Yeah. I think that as you're chasing, the plan was for you to chase me to where a couple of the captains hung out for lunch, and that's where you were gonna like let me pay you off to let me go, and they would see it happen and get
Yeah,
caught.
yeah.
But we're not there yet, and there's a wizard shopping in the market who wants to help you. So he's like, "Oh, a thief!" And he like casts a spell and freezes me
Freezes you. Great, great.
right there in the middle of the market, and we're not like, it's still another couple of alleys to where
Nice.
the people who need to witness this are.
So the first peril is something we can overcome relatively easily. And I think I think what I do then is like, okay, this plan, we need a plan B then, and probably recognize this wizard. Let's look at the letters on the cards. We call it Ziknu the wizard. And it's actually pretty well known and well respected in the city. Did we give the city a name?
I don't think we did.
Let me look at this card here. This is the city of Gat, Gat. City of Gat. Cool. So Ziknu is well respected in the city of Gat, and I'm like, okay, here we go, plan B. I'm sorry, sir. Do you have a license for magic in town?
I think he's like, well, no, but it was an emergency situation. I was helping you catch the thief.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't make any exceptions. I'm gonna have to arrest you. Or actually, instead of arresting you, maybe you could pay me a fine right now.
Fine. Can I just like let him go?
I mean, it's not about him anymore. It's about you. So you can either give me a little fine, or we can go through official channels.
How little of a fine?
I don't know. 500.
500? That's a big fine.
Yeah, I know. It's a big offense doing magic in the marketplace.
I want to speak to your superiors.
And I think this is when like lunch break is over and they're kind of walking back this way, and like the captain of the guard and a couple of my see me trying to shake down this well-respected wizard. And I think success for us looks like here, me getting fired and you getting away.
I think they come upon the blustering, the big hubbub of him being like, "I see you up here. How dare you try to tell
who I am.
was helping you catch a thief, and now you want to charge me 500 How dare you? Where's the captain of the guard? You."
And the spell probably wears off of you, and you can slink away. He goes all wizard Karen on me, and says, either you fire this guy, or I'll have you fired. And so I'm out of work, which is great. So now we need to actually get there. So then after the first kind of like moment of action, we do a little like kind of like a downtime scene or like a campfire scene. I'm gonna draw a card to see where we might be for that moment of rest. I see a library. That's great. Um, yeah, so that maybe that's like the last place they'd expect to find us.
Yeah, right.
So we hole up in the back corner, like pretend to be doing research on something. And so one of the characters reveals something about themselves during this scene. Um, you feel like you have something, or should I go?
Yeah, go ahead and go for it if you got some.
Um, yeah, I think as we're kind of like flipping through books, like we're not really making eye contact, but we're just kind of muttering to each other, kind of like shaking off the the trauma of the day. Um, it was like, I never really wanted to be a town guard anyway. It's just my all of my brothers did the same, and I was kind of pressured into it. Um, I really wanted to get out of GAT to kind of see the world. And I mean, once you're in the guard, there's nowhere to go. So that's you live in GAT, you die in GAT. So they say. So actually, I think this was all for the best, job or not.
Yeah, I actually think this might have worked out for the better. Because I've got some pull in the Thieves Guild. Not a lot. I'm still, still trying to work my way up. But what if I were to tell them you were interested in the guild and that I was taking you on as my apprentice? Because you since you'd be lower level than me, I have enough to,
Sure.
position to
Yeah.
teach a newcomer a few things or to.
Does the guild operate in the city, or do they get like sent out on quests?
I think maybe mostly in the city. It's just.
Well, maybe we should get you out of there too then, and we can, get that magic armor, sell it for a good price, get the hell out of town.
Actually, that's a better idea because, I mean, if they ever found out that I stole the magic armor and didn't give them their cut,
That's right.
that would have been a big deal anyway. I was hoping they wouldn't, but if we're just working as two independent operators from the get-go, then we don't have them breathing down our necks.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm pretty aggressive about wanting their cut.
Yeah, there they are. And they got eyes everywhere.
Hmm. So we need to get ourselves into another situation of peril, and I think that's a great way. Like, oh, they have eyes everywhere, so we not only need to get a job there, but we need to like establish an alibi or like keep. We need to do something to get the Thieves Guild off our back.
Yeah, and if we're looking for peril, yeah, I'm not sure this is how it's supposed to go, but I kind of feel like the first bit of peril is that, right, if I say they have eyes everywhere, that's when we notice at another table
Oh, nice,
someone I know from the Thieves Guild who has just heard this entire conversation.
nice.
I'm
What's
like,
his?
oh, fuck, that's, oh no, that's Gorpo.
Corpo.
He's with the Thieves Guild. And Gorpo knows, you see him like kind of close his book and start scurrying out because he knows we're on to him.
Oh shit, he's gonna tell on us.
Yeah. It's like, we got to get you. He's going to go back and tell them everything we just said.
Let's go. Time to run. So this second peril, we will get out of it, but not as easily as the last time. So yeah, lead us on the chase. Where does he go first?
But the first part of it, I see as being one of those very humorous chase non-chases because we're in a library. So he can't just be running, jumping over tables and stuff. So he's trying to scurry out as quickly as he can normally, and we're behind him. And as soon as we try to get a little speed, librarian's like, shh, running, don't running in the library. So it's like this we're trying to chase as slowly and politely and not get caught as possible.
Amazing.
So we don't really gain any ground on him, unfortunately, in the library. In fact, we probably get, detained by, librarians who stop us. And
I'll talk
so
to.
I think he gets a little more of leeway and he gets out of the library before we do. And we're like, fuck.
Awesome. I'm going to draw to see. I don't think I like that one. Ocean. The sewer, perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Garpo. They don't call him Garpo for nothing. We get out of the library and like down the street, we see him just like dive into like a sewer hole, sewage hole, manhole. Yep,
Yeah.
sewer. Like, oh no. Okay, how good are you with sewer stuff?
It doesn't matter. It's our only choice. If we want to any chance of pulling this off, we got to get down in those sewers now before we lose him. And it's winding. There's so many passages he can take. We just got to go. We got to go. We got to go.
All right, I don't know my way around, so you lead the way. Let's
Come
get
on.
gross. Get in there.
And I think like knowing he's probably going to the Thieves Guild. I'm like, if he's going to Thieves Guild, he's dove in that manhole. Thieves Guild's that way. He's probably going to take Tunnel 11. We can cut him off. Cut over. We'll cover 2 streets and jump down there, and we should be able to cut him off.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna draw a card to see if we run into anything down there. Necromancer is probably too much. Maybe maybe the sewers are like get are like there are some nasty like ghouls or something down there. That's like garbage and corpse eating. That's why the Thieves Guild is relatively protected from that because no one wants to go down there because there's stories of people going down into the sewers and never coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Like they find
the trash eating ghouls are actually part of the city sanitation system.
yeah.
You don't need a landfill.
Yeah, so I think the passage we need to go down to cut them off is just like there's a bunch of them, and as soon as we turn the corner, they just like turn and charge. How does how does Fiverr deal with a bunch of undeads in the sewers?
He works on instinct. It's not like a long-term plan. He has on his belt a little grappling hook with some rope.
Mhm.
So he throws up and he like hooks, a grate above us and
Nice.
is like, quick, hold on to us, help me climb the rope. Jump on me. And so we both climb up. So now we're like hanging from the grate with
Mhm.
a horde of ghouls below us.
Yeah, and I've got my sword, so like as they're like grabbing at me, I'm just like swiping at them, and like maybe a hand comes off or like head gets split open, but it's still coming up.
So we're like safe for the moment, but then also like, now what do we do?
Yeah. Um, how do our skills get us out of this? Um, hmm. um, I'd be like, I've got an idea. You got a good hold on the rope?
Yeah.
Great. I slice the rope so we both fall and we each have one end of it. And I was like, get on that side of the sewer. I'll get on this side and run. And then we run and just like clothesline the rope and just like mow them down. That I like that. That's good.
Hey, now you're thinking like a thief.
So we catch up to Glorpo. What do you do to stop him?
Pull out my sling and I have a ball of it's a ball that when you sling it and when it hits, it explodes into caltrops.
Nice.
So I hurl that in front of him. Caltrops on the floor.
Cool. Yeah, sweet. So we catch up to him. He's not able to go. I've like they probably didn't take all of my stuff when I got fired. So I've got like the manacles or whatever. It's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna chain you to this pipe right now.
Yeah.
We got stuff to do, and you know what? Tell the ghouls we said hello. Let's get on to Survivor.
Wait, hold on. You made one crucial mistake. I reach in and pull out his lockpicks. He wouldn't have stayed in those manacles long.
Ah, good call. Good call.
Now maybe we got some time.
Nice. And yeah, so we have a minute again for a downtime scene, a little rest. Do you have an idea you want to draw for it?
I got an idea, but I want to draw anyway just to see, get some inspiration exactly how it forms. Come on. Over there we go. Yeah, all right. Revelations at the bottom there. You know, I do feel a little bad. I mean, Corporal was the one who got me in the Thieves Guild. And he's the one who kind of taught me everything I know. And now
Hmm.
we gotta get him off our backs, but I don't feel right just leaving him to the ghouls.
I think it's a little late for that. I mean,
Yeah.
not to be preachy, but that's where a life of crime is going to get you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we do all know what we're signing up for. I mean, he was pretty, like, he was pretty resourceful. There's still a chance he might have somehow got out of that. Just because I took his lockpicks, I wouldn't put him past him somehow. He might have chewed his own hand off to get out of that.
Something else might have.
Or that. Damn it. Either way, we're on a tight schedule now because I mean, if he did somehow get out of it and got back to the Thieves Guild with that information, hopefully he did. Well, hopefully he didn't. I don't even know what to hope for anymore.
Well, either way, I don't think we have time to go through the process. So maybe we just steal some like work aprons and just try to fit in.
Yeah. You know, this town's so full of bureaucracy. I could easily make up some story about like, yeah, no, we were the new workers assigned. You didn't get the paperwork that the guild told us we need money for holidays, and the guild told us that, you know, we can make it
The
work.
Armorers Guild. Yeah, yeah, we're in
Yeah.
for the Armorers Guild. Great. Um, cool. So let's go steal some stuff. Get to the workshop. And the workshop is in full swing, right? In production. Maybe not only because of the high priest's like holy armor that's getting there, but maybe because that's happening. Other folks are like, oh yeah, we want to get like that's where the high priest is getting stuff.
Yeah.
We should name the high priest to what are the letters on that card? Mm, Lux.
Hmm.
Lux Patri, the high priest.
Yes. Dick.
Dick. um, cool. And probably things are in like such full swing that we don't really have to talk our way in. We just gotta like get handed hammers and like
Yeah.
banging on that stuff. You start stoking that fire or whatever. Um, and so at some point, we're going to lead up into the part we described at the beginning.
Hmm.
Um, you have any ideas?
Yeah, I think that like as we're sort of walking through, you know, to the first workshop, trying to figure out what we're gonna do, whatever. That's when my keen perception notices that loose stone. I'm like, oh
Mhm.
wait, that's the perfect place. Will be like our go bag, and I kind of make sure no one's watching. And I pull it out, and I take my little thieves kit that has all my tools and stuff in, shove it in there,
Nice.
put it behind
One of the fun things we do in the show that I'd like to incorporate into the game is like
the.
kind of like flashbacky call out stuff. So we can pop back to like where we're telling the story.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, wasn't that when like that's when you couldn't help yourself and like grabbed something valuable and stuck it in there as well? What did you get?
I think as we entered, there was a like a craftsman's hammer that was like,
Hmm,
you know, like,
like a nice one.
yeah, like that the master smiths use and probably, you know, bought after 50 years in the biz.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, I've never seen a craftsman hammer. And it's a fool just left it sitting there on the bench. Yoink.
Yeah, boy, that screwed us. Draw another card and see inspiration here. Sorcerer's practicality. Hmm. I think just out of, yeah, maybe out of like just sheer like getting caught up in it. We actually kind of like start getting into the rhythm of doing like doing the blacksmithing and wood stoking and stuff, and like the plan slips. It's my mind for a moment at least. Um, what do we think trips off that fire?
Me.
Yeah. the,
I think kind of like
the
because
master is like, "Where's my hammer?" and starts tearing the place apart looking for it.
yeah, and I think out of panic, I like try to I like throw it like hoping to stash it like under the coals. When I throw it, that knocks like the coals out around the shop,
Oh yeah.
which sets shit on fire. And I'm like,
Fantastic.
oh shit. Now the craftsman hammer is underneath the coals, and the coals have just been flung everywhere. Um,
The shop catches fire. Folks were too concentrated on working until it's too late, and that set all our tools and stuff on fire. So all the plans we had made, we don't have those available for. And the oh yeah, the like those the holy watcher kind of like appears. What was the last bit of trouble we got into? There's the holy watcher, and then what's the last thing you added?
I think the last thing I had was just that our tools got torched as well. I think
Okay.
that was the last step.
I think yeah, maybe that thing. It's like a what do we want to call it? Call it a it's just an apparition, I guess. The apparition. Um, I think it's been uh like geshed by the high priest to be like, you make sure that armor is completed no matter what. And it like is blocking the way out from the burning world. So people are like trapped and they're like trying to go through, and it like gives them a little like holy blast in the forehead, and they fall back, and people are like trying to go out windows, and it's yeah. Um, yeah, we're stuck in this burning workshop with this like minor angel from leaving. Um, we must use all of our skills and possibly sacrifice something to escape the peril.
That's where we're at now.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I'm gonna pull a card just to see.
Hermit.
I don't know how. Let me see it again. Hermit, Minotaur, Cavern, Contemplation. I was like, okay, I've got an idea. I think I know how to get us out. It requires that craftsman's hammer that's currently underneath all those burning coals right now.
All right. I'm gonna make a dive for it. And I like smoke filling the air, people running around. I'm crawling around. I finally go to grab the hammer, and it's like red hot, and it just sears my hand. Like yell and like toss it to you, like hot hammer coming through. The
And
hands
then,
are fucked up.
yeah, your hands are fucked up. And it had to be one of us. And I need my hands to do the second part of the plan. Sorry. I get some of the other blacksmithing tools, and so now that it's all red hot, it's not quite liquefied yet. It was very malleable.
Mhm.
And I quickly hammered it into a facsimile of the holy symbol of this
Oh,
demi-angel
sweet.
thing.
Nice.
I'm like, okay, here, can your hands get a bucket of water to quench this? We got to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That was
here's some for your hands too. And it's crude, but it was like, well, hopefully it'll be passable. Let's find out. Domine, Latine. Uh, we are required to pass. We have done our inspection, and you have done your job well. We must now go report to the high priest of what we have seen here.
I think maybe ooh, maybe that like cements it into like a solid form. So it can't like do all the spirit stuff anymore. And that's when like all the workers like just but bold we just trample that thing on the way out. Um great. It says draw a card to introduce a big twist or complication. Uh
Cool.
I think I have an idea, but
Cool.
say here. Um Tomb. Yeah, I love it. That part of the plan went very badly. I think we have to make ourselves scarce, and the armor is completed, but we're still like, we're gonna get that fucking armor, dog. Um, and so we both have to lay low because both the guards and the thieves guild are probably on our tail by now. Um, but we find out through through whatever our channels are. Maybe we have to go hang out with we Eleanor puts us up. You like explain the situation. You're like, look, here's the deal. We'll be out of your hair in a couple days. We just need to like lay low for a little bit. Um, and I think maybe the high priest needed that armor to do some sort of like maybe he's not such a good guy after all. And the card I drew was the Four of Warriors, which is Tomb, and so maybe he's like in like a like the sepulcher and like the big holy place there, and he's doing some ritual to like bring some nasty dude back to life or something, and you need the armor for it.
Sounds like him.
So we're like, okay, cool. That's clearly when we need to get the armor because if he completes that, then like the church is going to take over the city with more of those apparitions. So not only would we be getting ourselves some money in the process, we would also be saving the city, right?
It's true. It's true. You know, never noticed this before, but you you kind of look like him.
The high priest.
Yeah, a little bit. I think with, I have this little disguise kit, and I think with like a little putty on your nose, we blacken up those eyebrows a little bit. We'd have to cut your hair,
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
but I think you might be able to pass as him. I mean, if you think you got the acting chops to pull that off.
I mean we'll find out, won't we?
However, that also means,
Who are you gonna be?
well, that means that the real priest will need to be uh, incapacitated because we
Mm.
can't have both of you showing up and being like, time for my armor and my ritual. So,
So if you can sneak me into his like dressing chamber, I'll pop out of his wardrobe or whatever, take care of him, and then we'll see what happens.
what if? Ooh, okay. What if you, wanting to get back into good graces of the guard,
Mm.
have captured this thief who was
Uh-huh.
trying to steal from the high priest? You get in to see him to present me. Bam, poison ring him out.
Great. Did you say poison?
Yeah, poison ring him. Well, I said
Oh,
not.
oh, you poison. Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
no,
great with
poison ring him. I've
great.
got that.
Great.
Which I mean, it'll be like I don't have to kill him. I mean, I guess I can if we want that too.
He's not a great guy, but
That's true.
so yeah, let's cut to the high priest chamber. Like that all goes off. And where they're the high priest. Um and yeah, he goes to like gloat over you, and oh yeah, I think he's like, we will need more like you to feed what is coming.
Mhm.
Then what do you do?
And then I think like and then faux act of subservience. I get down on my knees and trying to lure him, like, please, sir, have mercy. And as he gets close enough to gloat, bam, ring to the neck.
Great, boom. Sweet. We switch clothes, head down to the tomb. I think the ceremony is like already in progress, and we just have to like get in there and get the stuff and get out, right?
Yeah. On the
Um,
way there, I'm like trying to, as we're going down the hall, I'm like, hold still, I gotta put your nose on. I haven't done the nose yet.
it's gonna be dark down there. Don't worry about it. So what's the what's the big danger down there? That we get down there. There's some other priests like already chanting and stuff. Like one of the like archbishops or whatever has the holy armor ready to put on me. And he places it on me, and he's like, "Okay, say the words to complete the ritual." Um, hmm. I'm gonna draw a card and see what happens. Control. I think yeah, I have like I have to like fake his voice as well while doing that. Um and I think the way I get around that is by saying the ritual has been changed. It is no longer I who will say the final invocation, but you, Mr. Who's like um, Reverend Buzz, Bishop Buzz, and he like looks shocked, but then he's like, "Okay, cool, I'm gonna." And when he does, I think since he's not wearing the armor, um, the thing that was summoned like immediately just like Indiana Jones Temple of like melts him. And so now there's this like evil ex high priest spirit going nuts in the tomb there. So how do we get out of there? And or put it back, I guess.
Did you wait? No, it can't be that easy, could it?
I don't know. I've
Just
never
if
done
we,
this before.
well, you're wearing the armor. I don't want to say anything. Can say what he said, but like backwards.
Okay, I'll give that a try. Um, and I think, yeah, I think it starts to see what I'm doing and starts coming at me. And that's when the armor kind of like flashes. Um, and like it looks like he was trying to avoid getting like sucked back into the tomb or whatever. And when he attacked the armor, like I don't think he would have attacked the high priest because they were like on the same side. But since he saw me trying to get rid of him, that's when he did it, and that's when the armor like goes off and just like holy light disintegrates him. Uh, cool, and they're like, let's get the fuck out of here while they're dealing with whatever's going on.
Yeah. That's great.
Where do we wind up? Maybe somewhere outside of town.
Yeah, I think as a running theme, I feel like, obviously this is a compound that's gonna be real hard to get out of. But I'm like, all right, look, I know a way out. You're not gonna like it.
Sewers. God damn it.
Yeah, just jump in that hole in the outhouse
Fine. In the outhouse. Oh my god.
or
Belongs.
the bed chamber, whatever, the
Yeah.
nearest pool.
We're already in the tomb. We're in the tomb
Yeah.
basement. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that the last fun thing, like we get into the tunnels and there's the ghouls there. They like recognize us, like, oh, you fed us that guy. We're cool.
They're
And
still, they like wave his hand at us.
yeah, okay, bye. We come out like like on the shores of the river outside of town. Um, and we're like, cool, let's find the next place and sell this thing. And I think it's probably you that noticed this, is that probably like when the armor like went off,
Mhm.
like all the magical properties of it went away as well. So we're like, okay, now we just got some cool armor to sell.
Yeah, no, I mean, on the upside, easier to offload.
Uh, and ever since that day, we've been traveling together, having adventures.
Would have been real hard to get rid of super magic high priest armor, but
Yeah, yeah. You don't know that fence.
that's a yeah.
But yeah, that's the game.
Hey, cool.
Yeah.
Like it.
It is a very just like rough structure. Um, but first off, what are your impressions of like the like? I think we are good at telling stories.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you like? How do you feel about the like structure or like what like mechanics do you feel like might help to sort of push people who aren't as used to telling stories like that along?
Only thing that comes to mind is maybe like in Brindlewood and stuff, how the kind of structure is like when you want to do a thing,
Mhm.
that's when you do the move. You're like, I want to do a thing. Okay, well, that's gonna be this move.
Yeah,
Maybe attaching it to where like whatever you want to, we kind of did anyway, but for us it's more of a choice, but make it more of a mechanic. We're like anything you want to do, draw a card.
right. Yeah,
And somehow
incorporate that into.
anything on that card, any one of the words, anyone, yeah, whatever. Just as I think that'll inspire people because if they feel it's really stuck, like I hope I know what to do. You can just draw a card and be like, oh, one of these words might prompt you like,
Yeah,
we run for the boat. All right,
yeah. The thing I think that I have the most trouble with is like we are like both providing the trouble and getting out of it.
Mhm.
And so I think maybe like some more explicit, like one person introduces the trouble, the other person gets out of it. And because we're the heroes, like we're always going to get out of it, right?
Right, right.
So there's not like a see if it works or not. But I think like introduce like figuring out a way to explicitly is like have one person ramp up the trouble and the other person say how you get out of it, and then like switch roles again. So
Yeah, switch it on, or at least make that. My instinct says maybe like make that a loose rule where like the general rule is swapping roles.
yeah,
But then obviously, like if it's my turn, I'm like, oh fuck, I don't really know.
yeah,
Then you can do it. It's like it's not like a hard fast rule. It's like, sorry, bud, it's your turn. You gotta
yeah.
come with the trouble.
Oh yeah, maybe like give them like a prompt list. Like here are some things you can do. Like here's some of like the meta technique you do. Like oh, like we're telling a story, so you can say like oh yeah, and that's when you like, and that's when this bad thing happened to you, right?
Oh
Or
yeah, yeah.
you did that thing that got us into trouble, and then the other person's like it's the what's the word we use instead of pimping now? What we like when you're giving a strong offer to someone like that,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh like here's the thing that you did. How did that work out?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, like oh we hold up with Eleanor, but she wouldn't let us in until you like read her that poem, right? How did that go? And then the other person like
yeah. If you wanted to make it more strictly mechanical,
mm,
then you could, like you could put in place, like I said, the swip swapping roles. And then if you find yourself stuck, maybe you could have a prompt where you go, "Ah, man, I can't quite remember," or
yeah.
something like
How
that.
did
And
that go? Yeah,
that prompts the other person, like, you don't remember how you fucking pulled your sword
yeah.
out and shit,
I like that. Yeah, that's really good. It's like using that story frame
Yeah.
for good purposes. That's really good.
And also that's like that way the person's asking for help by using the prompt and being
Yeah,
like telling you, I'm kind of out. What do you think? Oh yeah, cool.
yeah. Write that down. Prompt. Cool. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Um, how did you feel about the character generation stuff?
I like that. That was cool. I mean,
Did it give you enough to go off of?
it did, but again, like you said, I mean, we're more experienced this type of stuff, so it's hard to put myself in the mindset of like someone who's not.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I like it because it was a loose enough framework. It still felt like very creative and just open to whatever. But it is fun to have those little points. So it's not just totally like we don't even have a game. We're just gonna sit here and make up a story together.
right. Yeah,
It's
and
fun to have
sometimes
the
it's
game
fun to give.
elements.
Like we've had ones where it's like, oh, I'm like the two of thieves, so I'm like a low level like pickpocket.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
That's
other
cool.
person's like an arch wizard, and like so,
Yeah,
how do these guys become friends and go traveling together? I was like,
totally.
it's really fun.
And there's lots of times when even if I said like a kernel of an idea, just pulling a card and seeing one of the words would just jump out at me and be like, oh yeah, okay, you're
Yeah, yeah.
like I saw virtue, and that's like, well, you're a guard who doesn't have the highest virtue.
Right.
You'll
That
fucking
doesn't
take a
have
bribe and shit.
virtue.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, Sweet. I'm gonna keep writing this up and see if I can get something in a week or so that I can show other people.
Cool. Yeah, dig it.
Yeah. Anything else about the any of the stuff?
Nothing jumps to mind. It all felt, I mean, to me, it's fun. Like I said, fun,
Ooh.
a nice framework with, and it is fun, we don't obviously don't do a lot of smaller or duo games like that. So that's a
Yeah.
kind of fun, different dynamic that's fun. And I definitely like the fact that it's not, game master player.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, no, man, we're both doing
We're
all the
we're
things.
jamming each
And
other.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah. And
fun
I mean
system.
that was an hour, and that was pretty pretty good. Uh,
Yeah.
I think the other explicit not rule but like guidance I want to get in there is like doing that aggressive editing. So
Yeah.
like oh like we have to do this plan where we're gonna switch into the and get
Mhm.
to the high priest office. Like cool, let's just be there. And
Yeah, where you don't have to go through the whole things of how every step you went through to get to the office and break through the window and then knock the guy out to get the clothes and get.
yeah, we just did the thing.
We're good. We're heroes in this
We
story.
know what we did. Yeah.
Shit goes our way.
I like to there's so many games, especially these days, kids these days, that are like
Mhm.
and I love them like the grim dark kind of like you have 2 hit points and looking at something wrong is gonna kill you and everyone's a dirtbag. And like I also like the like you're just a hero, you're the protagonist of the story. Nothing that happens is gonna kill you or stop you from doing the thing. That's why I like the fun of like let's make this situation as bad as possible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We know we're gonna get into it and we know we're gonna get out of it. But
Well,
like
exactly.
the fun is like how.
That's the fun. Yeah, because it felt like a story. Because I mean, yeah, just like you said, when you're every week when I watch Doctor Who, I know Doctor Who's not going to die.
Yeah.
There's
Like
no
reading your book, like,
actual
why is the last half of this book blank? Oh, because the hero dies halfway through. Like, no, that's
there's
not.
no actual peril. The fun is watching the characters go through the adventures and see how they get out of it or whatever.
Yeah. And even like rewatching stuff, like
Yeah.
watching Indiana Jones, like I I know what happens. I know he gets out of all the trouble,
Yeah,
but it's still fun to watch
yeah,
because
yeah.
of, like how stuff happens. Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for giving this a shot.
Yeah, man, it's fun.
I'm gonna keep writing stuff and hopefully have a little zine before long.
Cool, bud.
Cool. I'm gonna say goodbye to the internet.
Bye, internet.
Bye to the internet.